art has no boundaries. Art is not racist. Art opens doors, so I was super grateful for that, and yeah, that was a beautiful experience for me. We're gonna take him to jail.
Oh no.
And I was like, yo, is this real? And I ended up giving all my belongings to my mom. And they took me to the holding station and the foothill station, and I was there for 2 days. And then they transferred me to LA County. It's believing in yourself. Like, sometimes it's hard to believe in yourself, because there's a lot of doubts, and you're your own biggest critic, you're your own biggest enemies.
Thank you, JP, for being here with me with Platicando con Jacque podcast. First, I want to ask you what happened on June 24. Can you tell us about?
Yes, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. And what happened on June 24th, I ended up breaking my leg. And it's unfortunate. And, I'm trying to fight through it to be able to get better and get back on my 2 feet and start painting again.
Yeah. What was your learning? So, okay, you had the accident on June 24, and how's your mindset have changed?
It changed drastically. It changed for the better. I was able to sit down and really appreciate the people around me, and be able to understand that, it's okay to ask for help. Because as a male, you want to go ahead and provide. You want to go ahead and be that backup plan for everybody else. But when something happens to you, who's going to be your backup plan? That's when you see who's really real and who actually cares in your life. So, that taught me that lesson, and it told me to sit still and be able to, just appreciate all my accomplishments that I have gained throughout the years. Because sometimes you have this end goal of where you want to be at. And you don't appreciate all the little things in between that journey, So what's important is the journey and the people you're riding with, and not the end goal. So I'm happy about that, and I've been taught that, as I sit still and I can't really do much, and it also taught me to appreciate my mom so much, because she's the one that's taking care of me, my dad, my sister, my brothers, So I'm blessed to be in that. I guess, it's a blessing in disguise, and I'm blessed to be in this position right now.
Are you the older brother?
No, my sister is the older. My sister is the oldest. I'm the second oldest, and then I have a younger brother and a younger sister.
Okay. And are you the only artist of the family? In the family?
No, you know what? Like, now more days, my mom told me that she used to draw when she was a young girl, and she entered contests, like drawing contests in Mexico when she was growing up, so she told me that, she kind of gave me that like inspiration, and it's always a blessing because my mom tells me that, she's living her dreams through me, and I don't take it lightly, I try to make her proud, try to make her, orgullosa de su hijo, so, I'm happy about that.
That's a beautiful story to hear. What represents art for you?
Art is a form of freedom for me. It's a form of expression. It's like writing, but without words. It's a picture, and it's beyond that. It's freedom. It's a form of like myself. It's who I am basically. It's not a lifestyle. It's who I am. So, and now that I can give that to the world, it represents more than just like 3 letters, art, it's something bigger than that,
Okay. And when does the inspiration to be a muralist come from? Where? I'm sorry.
It comes from, well, it started off of me just like, any other kid, in school, drawing, painting, doing graffiti, and it's a regular story that, I'm pretty sure a lot of kids can identify with. And the only difference is that I kept going with it, I kept at it, and I knew that this is something that was my passion, it's something that I felt inside of myself, and I started hanging around with different people, doing graffiti, stuff like that, mischievous things that you do when you're a kid. And then there was this one time that I remember that I was coming home from work. I was working with my dad. He used to take me every summer to do wood flooring, and it's a hard work. It's very manual. So at 15 years old, I was coming out of work. I was super tired, and I was in the van, kind of like knocking out. And on my left side, I seen people painting a mural and this big wall, and I was like, yo, I need to be there. This is where I belong, you know. So I ran home, I grabbed a gang of paintings that I had, and I went to go show the people. It's like, yo, like, I paint too, I'm an artist, you know, like, this is what I could do. And I started showing them. They're like, oh, well, good, you know, like, you want to help? I was like, yeah. And I just, you know, submerged myself in that like painting, and it was really good, because I seen people using different colors, people like loving what they're doing, and it's like, yo, I wanna do that, you know. So that was like my first experience in a mural, and then ever since then I just try to keep, like, I kind of kept with that little family of artists, and you know, just try to learn from them, basically, you know, take all the advice, and you know, just see how they work, you know, just see how hard they work, and yeah, man, I said, yeah, I'm all in, you know. So here I am.
And did your family always support you when you were, or your family, like, when you say, I want to do art for a living, and people like, ha 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 ha, nobody lives from art?
Yeah. No, I think that's where that saying goes from. That saying comes from starving artists. It's like, you know, we that have a passion, you know, we chase this dream to become this artist, and, you know, be as big as like some of the old people were, you know. And yeah, they really supported, because they didn't see the bigger vision that I did. I see it in my head, and they were just like, no, you gotta get a job, like, this is not real, you know. And I was like, oh, well, this is what I love to do, you know, especially because, you know, I used to be doing graffiti, and I got caught doing graffiti like a few times, like 4 times. And every time, you know, the police used to bring me home, and, you know, they used to give me a ticket.
Because you were a minor. That happens when you're a minor. They send you home. But if you were over 18, they take you to jail?
They take you to jail. Yeah, that was my last experience. I ended up going to jail for doing graffiti. And it was just like, I was surrounded by people that were looking scary. And I was like, yo, I don't belong here, you know?
Hold on. I want to go back to that one, but I also want to know the first one. The police take you when you were a minor. Yeah. So they took you were doing graffiti, and they were like, hey, kid, what are you doing here? And they send you home?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what happened with your parents and everything?
Well, it's like, it's embarrassing for my parents, because, you know, the neighbors are outside, and then, like, you know, the police comes and, you know, takes me to my house, and no, they give me a ticket, and my parents have to be responsible for it, you know, because they put it under their name, and it's like they have to be the ones that are paying the fine. And that broke my heart, because, you know, I was like, damn, I see my dad working hard every day, getting up in the morning, you know, like, tired, and still me bringing more misfortune to the household, and me bringing more problems, you know. So that hurt me, and I you know, I try to learn as a kid, but, you know, you commit a mistake and you commit it again. You know, unfortunately, it happened 4 times. Until the last one, I understood that I can't be doing that, you know, and I can't be making my parents cry, you know, because it's hard for them, you know, and, you know, I don't want to do that. I want to make them proud instead of crying.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's true. Like, when you're a minor, your parents or guardians, they are responsible for everything you do. Yeah. Anyways, but. I forgot my point. I'm so sorry.
No, you were talking about the last time I got caught.
Last time when you were okay. No, I got my point back. Okay. I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
So when you did the graffiti when you were a minor, did someone mention, hey, because you're a minor, be aware of the cops, or you didn't know, like, there will be consequences?
Yeah, I knew there was consequences, but I wanted to take the risk, you know. And I was like, man, so what? Like, I got caught once. My parents picked me up. That day was raining. I remember I was with 2 other buddies of mine. And the cops like, yo, you know, we got your son. He's doing graffiti. You know, I need you to pick him up right now. And it was like at 12 in the night already. So my dad went up there. He was like super mad. He got, you know, I got in the car. He just started talking like smack to me. And I was like, damn, I'm sorry. You know, like, and then they gave me a ticket. Then we had to go to court. To the juvenile court, you know, and then you know, just respond to the consequences.
And what happens at the court, since you're a minor? Okay, you are there with your parents. I'm curious if you don't mind to sharing what happened that day when you went to court, and you were obviously sad, and I don't want to do this because my parents, and What is the situation on court?
Yeah, it's a scary feeling because you go in there and it was just basically me and my mom because my dad had to work all the time, you know. So my mom used to take me to the Silmar court, the juvenile center right there, and you know they tell you, okay, well, what you're here for, you know, or for this ticket here, and then well, the judge just basically like, you know, just tells you, okay, well, look, you're gonna get 6 months probation. You know, then you have to do community service.
Okay.
Then you can't be around like, you know, like certain like spray cans or stuff like that because then that might lead you to go tagging again. You know, so I ended up getting a probation officer.
Oh wow.
For that reason, and like they used to come home and like kind of check up like if I had any stuff, you know. So that hurt me because I was an artist at heart, you know, and I can't have like the things that I want to do. So.
Wow.
Yeah, my parents were like super like just bummed out about it because it really kind of took like it made something small that I thought, you know, to something bigger. But yeah, going back to that point, like my parents didn't really kind of support me at first, you know, just because it's like, no, like this is not gonna pay your bills, like this is not gonna help you like succeed, you know. And I proved them wrong, no lie. You know, I remember one of my first murals that I did was at was at my middle school, McLean Middle School. I had my principal name is Jacqueline. Shout out to Miss Jacqueline. I went back to restore a mural that was there since the 80s. You know, I told the principal, look, I'm an artist, you know, I you know, because I got caught doing graffiti at my middle school too. Oh. So I wanted to go back and show them that it wasn't in vain. Like I really did this because I'm an artist at heart. And I went back, I told her, let me restore this mural, you know, for free. You know, just I got the paint, too, you know, and because it was all tagged up on the mural, so I wanted to kind of give it more life. And see the colors to be vibrant again and people feel happy, you know, when they see it.
It's so hard to go to school and then if the school is super old and I was like, you need motivation.
Yeah, so I did that. Then it made a nice impact on the school because then people were like, yo, like the mural looks dope, you know. And then Ms. Araguin offered me a wall to paint and they were gonna pay me some money, and I was 18. And yeah, I did this big mural with like 15 kids from the school, and I kind of just gave them a little backstory, a little lecture of who the people that we're gonna go ahead and paint are, you know. So I painted Cesar Chavez, I painted Gandhi, and then I painted Nelson Mandela, you know. So I kind of gave them a little review of who they were, you know, and why we were painting them, and you know, they were super happy. And yeah, I ended up getting paid $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah, the first day. The first day I went, they gave me a check, and I was like, "Whoa, yo, is this real?"
Did you expect the money, or you were just doing it to bring joy to the school?
Well, at that point, my principal told me, "Yeah, pick a one, we're gonna pay you." So I knew there was gonna be money involved, you know. But
you don't know, like 2,000. You think like maybe 200 or 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000 will be cool.
It's a school. You don't know how much money they have. If the school looks already old, how much money they're gonna invest in art?
There's not a lot of funding there.
Exactly.
So they came through with a check, and I left everything, and I want to go cash a check because I didn't think it was real. And I went back home, and it's just like, yo, mom, I got paid for a mural, you know, and I want to give you some money, and I'm gonna keep some money. And she's like, oh, wow, okay, like, that's cool, you know? But she's like, one mural, okay. But then, you know, like, my reputation started going because I love what I do. And, you know, when you love what you do good work. You know what I mean? You don't mind spending another day on it. Like, without having to get paid, it's just like, no, I want my art to look beautiful for the people and presentable.
I want to know, I mean, you were excited, but I also want to know more about the feelings of the day you got the check. How did you get the check? On the mail, or you went to school and, hey, JP, come here?
Yeah, like that, exactly. Yeah, so the first day I went up there, I want to go start cleaning the floor, start kind of painting the wall. And as soon as I was bringing my stuff, the principal came, she's like, this for you. And I was like, okay, cool. And I just put it in my pocket. I started like, you know, I waited till she left, and then I opened it, and I was like, oh, damn, like, this is a check. This is a $2,000 check. Like,
and you were looking for the camera.
Yeah.
Maybe this is.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is for real. So I left everything. I went to the bank. I cashed it, and they gave me $2,000. I was like, yo, like, Is this, if it's this easy, I'm gonna keep on doing murals. But of course, every mural presents its own its own obstacles. So it wasn't always like that. That was like the best case scenario. Because there's some that like people wait a long time to pay you, or they pay you half, and they're super picky. But nonetheless,
and also depends of the person who you are working with, right?
Yes.
Like if someone with values, like I know how hard this person is working, and I know like it's time and concentration here. Let me fight for the money for this person.
Yeah.
But there are some people maybe, and I don't know, you might have stories of people who scam you. Or like, yeah, we're gonna pay you this, and they're like, no, you know what? It's just 100 because you didn't need a lot, and you're like, all my time.
Yeah.
Have you had one of those stories?
I've had an experience like that where a buddy of mine had a coworker, and he asked me for this painting. He gave me all the information. He gave me some reference photos, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can create that for you. So I went home, I bought a canvas. I painted it. I took a long time, forever, because it was like, yo, like people are paying me for my art.
Yeah.
So I did it, and then when the time came that I wasn't presented to him, he didn't show up no more, and like he ignored my calls, and I was just like, damn, all right, cool. Well, I just kept drawing, and then luckily I had my buddy Anthony Castellanos. He's like, man, I'll buy the painting.
Aww.
So, he's been a long time supporter. We've been friends since like the Sandlot, since like, San Fernando Gardens. And he bought a painting of mine, and, then he just keeps it. You know what I mean? So whenever I have like exhibitions and art exhibitions, then I tell him, hey, it worked out, because then I can ask him, can I borrow the painting just to go ahead and showcase it? And he's like, yeah, for sure. So that worked out for me in my favor. But yeah, I that happened, and I was bummed out, but it was for the better.
What did you learn that day? Because you were kind of naive, no?
Yeah.
I mean, we all been...
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And what I learned is that I'm a business. That besides being an artist, it's like, yo, I'm a business too, because people are paying me. And I need to know how to conduct myself and how to talk about, like, when it comes to business, it's hard to talk about money, because it's like, oh no, well, but those are the things that we have to tackle, because we're not just artists. We play like the business, we are the director, we are the distributor, we are everything, so we got to go ahead and take into account everything that we do, and be able to talk about it with the client without feeling weird about it, And that's what I learned that day.
Yeah. Wow. Ay! A little accident happened. ¿Estás bien?
Yeah.
¿Tu pierna está bien?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Okay, so we're back. We just had a little incident here, but nothing that we cannot fix. And okay, so we were talking about that experience, and you are a business. How did you learn that? Do you have any mentors? Do you reach out to anybody, or just watching videos on YouTube like about business, about negotiations, about sales?
I've learned through some of my buddies, you know what I mean, and I'm super grateful for them. A lot of people that I work with, because I was a young kid hanging around with like older people that were doing murals. So I was like the youngest one, so they taught me a lot. Had a great time with them. Shout out to my homeboy Levi, to his dad, Hector Ponce. All my art circle friends, you know what I mean? You know who you are. I'm not gonna name you, but you know who you are. And they're the ones that kind of helped me grow. And the bigger they got, the bigger I got. You know what I mean? So I'm always grateful for them, and always in debt with whatever they need.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Okay. And I want to go back when you were 18 and you were doing the other graffiti where you went, the cops got you, and that was a different experience. And obviously because you were not a minor anymore.
Yeah.
So what happened? You were in San Fernando Valley?
Yeah, I was actually going to college, because I was going to Valley College. And I was waiting for the bus, and the bus was taking forever, and I had my headphones on, and se me hizo fácil, just grab a marker, and I was in the bus stop, and I was like, man, why am I put my name right here? So, I went, and I would just hear music vibing, and then I was just riding, and then I guess the police was already passing by, so he see me, so he waited till I was done, and I was just like still in my own zone until he tapped me in the bag, and I was like, oh crap, like, yo, like, and he's like, yeah, you're under arrest. And I was like, oh, it became real. And I took my headphones off, and you know what? To be fair, I was like, okay, well, just call my mom. She's gonna pick me up right now. But she was like, call your mom for what? Like, you're already over 18.
Why he knew? So he's like, you are under arrest, and they ask you for your ID. I'm sorry, I'm super curious. So that's what I'm asking all the questions about
absolutely.
that. So okay, you look. The cops, they ask you for your ID. He sees you are over 18.
Yeah.
And
he runs my name. I give him my name, and so I guess some of my friends were also passing, so they want to go tell my mom. So my mom came, and like they're like, okay, well, he's already older, so we're gonna take him to jail.
Oh no.
And I was like, yo, is this real? And I ended up giving all my belongings to my mom. And, they took me to the holding station and the foothill station. And I was there for 2 days. And then they transferred me to LA County.
2 days for graffiti?
Yeah. And then they transferred me to LA County. So I was like introduced to the whole like system, and yeah, it was scary. It was to be honest, it was scary because I was there for graffiti. People were there for selling, like drugs. People were there for like killing. People were there for multiple offenses, and I was just there like for writing on the walls. And I just, it also everything, all my misfortunes and everything I've been through always taught me some lessons. So I was like, yo, I don't belong here. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna stop doing graffiti up in the street because I have to end up paying them. You know what I mean? I have to pay the city. I have to pay for the vandalism, and you know what I mean? I want them to pay me for my art. So I stopped doing it. I turned it around, and that's how I got involved in doing a lot of murals.
Yeah, okay, but I'm not done. I have more questions about that day before we move forward.
Absolutely.
So, okay, you are in jail, and they were aggressive with you, or?
Yeah, well, they're aggressive with everybody. It's like they have a system. Yeah, it don't matter what you're doing. It's like, yo, you're here. It was scary. It was a traumatic experience because then you see people right there with like tattoos all over their face, and it's like, people haven't slept for days. People are angry. The food sucked, and I was just like, God damn, like what I get myself into. So a few days later, like 3 days later, I got released. So then they release you from the LA County. Yeah. They give you your belongings, and it's like you have to find your way home. So
where did they drop you?
Well, they just let you out, and luckily I had like $30 when they give you all your belongings, and I ended up buying a tamal from the tamal lady. And
there's a tamal lady outside?
On the front right
that's
there,
a good
like
business.
yeah, so and then I bought a tamal, lo champurrado. Then I just waited for the bus. I just went all the way home, and
you were wearing what clothes you were wearing?
They let me change. So they strip you down, and you put all your things in a bag, and then so once you are getting processed out, they give you all your belongings back, and you just change back again.
Okay. Okay, and they take you, but I'm gonna go back to the first day before they transfer you to the LA County. So you're like, okay, they're gonna release me right now. We're just gonna pay a fine, and then you are in the little, how do you say, la celda?
The little cell, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so okay. Yeah, thank you. And did you work with more people over there?
Yeah, I was with more people. Yeah, definitely. Like people that were just people that were fighting, or people that were drunk, or. So everybody's like in a holding tank, in a holding cell. And you wait there for 2 days. And then the LA County bus picks you up, and then they take you to get processed in.
Did you were able to eat over there? Like your mom was able to visit you?
I think she was able to visit me one time, and I just thought, like this is where I'm gonna end up going, and of course as a mom, estás muy preocupada, and it's just like, God damn,
and more because you think, I'm sorry, but it's a graffiti. Like we understand the process, like they have to take you over there, but transferring you to the big jail?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I think at that point it was considered a felony. Now if I'm not mistaken, they dropped it down to a misdemeanor. But back when I got caught, it was a felony, and it was a scary thing, and it taught me so much. I got the bus, I went home, and it I think this was God because I went home and it's like, where's my parents at? You know, they're like, oh, they're at church. Yeah. And, you know, so I ended up meeting them at church, you know, and they didn't know I was coming out, you know, so I went and surprised them. And, you know, my mom, like, she does the whole Mexican, they started, like, falling and crying, you know,
hermosa.
So, yeah. So I was just like, damn. And they're like, yeah, we're here because of you. Like, we're praying that you got out. And, you know, she's like, this is a miracle. You know, so it's like, damn, you know, like, that's the type of thing that I don't want to put my parents through, you know. No. I love them and I want to honor them and be able to give them, you know, everything that they don't have, and the reason why they left Mexico to come here for a better life, and I want to be able to give that to them, you know, instead of like messing up in the streets and being sucked into this lifestyle of like, you know, wanting to gangbang or you know, carry drugs or all of that. It's like, no, I want to, you know, carry like my art, you know what I mean, and make a good example at the end of the day.
Oh wow, that's it's a beautiful ending, but a heavy story for you. But I love your learning, how you switch your thoughts, your ideas. Like, okay, I want them to pay me for my art.
Yeah.
And I love that. And actually, I'm curious how that works. So, because if you see like, that wall will be beautiful to do this painting in the city. Who do you reach out? Do you have to reach out to someone at the city and pitch the idea, or what is the process?
Yeah, when I was younger, it's a different process now, you know, because now a lot of people know me for my art, so the city reaches out to me, you know what I mean? But when I was younger, I used to reach out to them and I used to tell them, hey, I want to do this mural at the park. What do I need? You know what I mean? And they're like, well, you need to pay us like $3,000 to be able to make that happen. And you need to have a fund. You need to have a account with funds, so in case it gets destroyed, then you could have money to restore it and stuff like that. It gave me a whole runaround and paperwork and stuff like that. So much so that I ended up doing a fundraiser. I ended up doing like 12 paintings, and you know, it's like a straight up like hood fundraiser where I live at. In the parking lot, I tell everybody, move your cars. I'm gonna do a fundraiser today. I'm gonna be selling hot dogs. I'm gonna be selling my paintings.
Wow.
I'm gonna be selling water. You know, I promoted it for like a week, and that day came, and a lot of people showed up. Surprisingly, you know, even Danny Trejo, Machete showed up.
No
you
way.
know, he bought me a painting, and he gave me $2,000 donation, and you know, that was like an eye opener for me that if I want something and I want it, then I can make it happen. I can realize it. You know, so that was a big learning lesson for me, and I felt really proud because all my neighbors seen what I was able to do, you know, and they see, yo, like this kid got heart, you know what I mean, and he whatever he sets himself to do, he's gonna do it. So I got respect from a lot of my neighbors, you know, even though like they seen like me getting caught for graffiti and all of that, now they see me doing something different, you know. So
and you were an example for the kids too.
Yeah, of course, you know, and even though I'm still human, though, you know, I still mess up and I still have my downfalls, but I try to be an example for my little brother, my little sister, you know what I mean, for them to follow the right paths and do whatever they want, you know what I mean, follow their own dreams, but I always do it, you know, righteously, and I always do it, you know, honorably. How
old did you were when you planned the fundraising at your neighborhood? Do you remember?
I was like,
it was like Instagram and social media was already a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Instagram
you were able
was already
to promote it.
Yeah, but I wasn't like no one, you know, like I barely had followers, but it was mostly like word of mouth, like people that I know. It was mostly friends that came through, you know, and
how long it took you to organize the whole thing and speak with the neighbors? I'm gonna do this. Can you please borrow your space for today? Like,
it took me like about a week, no lie, because I was like, well, I need money to make this mural happen. Like, let's do it now. So I was like, it took me about a week. I did I promoted it. I told my neighbors about it. I got my dad to help me. You know, we got all my art. We hanged it up on the fence. People came through. They checked it out. They ate. They vibed. You know, and I have this picture that this thought just came to my mind. Right, I have this picture where this Caucasian male used to always keep up with my art. Used to always keep up with what I was doing, and it got me by surprise because I was like, wow, like there's a white person that's interested in my art, you know what I mean? And he used to write emails to me. Yeah, I hope you're doing good. I invited him out. He came out first time meeting them. I was like, yo, man, thank you so much for the support. You know, and I was like, yo, like, art has no boundaries. Art is not racist. Art opens doors, you know. So I was super grateful for that, you know, and yeah, that was a beautiful experience for me.
It is beautiful. And I asked you about social media and everything because I'm curious, how did Danny Trejo found out about the whole thing and he was able to go over there? That was huge.
Yeah, no, that was a huge accomplishment.
Where do you feel? Like, I mean, you were already happy to see all the people, your neighbors, your family, right? The support. But then you're like, oh my God, is this for real?
Yeah, no doubt. I actually went to the store to go buy some ice. So when I came back home, I was like with a big bag of ice, and there was people in front of me, and I was like, "Hey, move!" Like I gotta go through. But it was Danny Trejo with his people, and then once I noticed, like, oh wow, like it's Danny Trejo, you know. So, I was like, "Yo, man, come in," you know, like thank you for coming. But come to find out, one of my buddies' dad, it's in the same car club as he is, like lowrider cars, you know, like old school cars. So, I guess my buddy Victor Santiago. Big shout out to you for that day. You know, he told his pops, and he was, you know, his dad told him, hey, you know, a kid from the neighborhood came through, and you know, he's doing something. You know, would you mind supporting him? So he came through.
Wow.
You know, donated some money, bought me off a painting. You know, met him in real life. All my neighbors were taking pictures with him. So you know, he's super involved though, right there where we grew up, because he grew up in that same like area, vicinity too. So you know, it was cool.
Yeah, I listened to his. I'm sorry. I always listening to podcasts, and I listened to his story the other day. I was like, whoa! And I wanna read his book too. But
yeah.
Have you read it?
No, I have not read it, but one of my buddies, Levi, he's like a big mentor of mine too. He, like, you know, he does like personal stuff for him, you know, in his house, you know, he had his book, you know, but yeah, you know what I mean? I want to buy the book, and I want to be able to read it and kind of like put myself in his shoes in his life, you know, because he's turned it around as well, you know, and that's what motivates us younger kids. It's like seeing a person go from good to bad, you know what I mean? I mean, from bad to good, you know, and you know, reversing the roles and breaking the stereotypes of like Mexican people, and you know, just we gotta go ahead and rise up.
Yeah, it will make mistakes in our life, and that's how we end up doing things. Like we don't. I mean, you wouldn't be here sitting with me talking and doing all the things that you have done if you wouldn't have those experiences. I know it sounds cheesy, and we know that sounds cheesy, and in the moment you're like, why me? Why I didn't pay attention? And you feel guilty about making your parents cry and everything. But right now you're like, okay, you are a person that take risk, and you go for what you want. And wow, congratulations. And you have a lot of support. So
no doubt. And I've worked to get that support, you know, and I try to always do good work and try to always treat people with respect, no matter who you are, and you know, be able to give back. So
I love your story. What is your creative process like before to start a new project? Or you
know what? My creative process starts with starts with you know, just thinking about like, what can I paint that represents me and represents people where I am, and you know, I just sit down and you know, just think about, you know, how people live, you know, people in my neighborhood, how they live, and that's where I kind of start drawing my inspiration from, like being able to see people, you know, make a living off of picking up cans, off of picking up cardboard, off of selling tamales, off of, you know, doing you know, the yard sales. Like this is how my people sustain themselves and gain their money to pay the rent, you know what I mean, to you know, being able to buy something, you know, buy food and stuff like that. So that's a big inspiration of mine. And then I just start kind of designing something, you know, start kind of picturing something, and then I bring that thought in my head to real life, and then I just start painting away, you know. I have a big a lot of people hit me up when people pass away, because I do good portraits. You know what I mean? And people want to remember the loved ones through a nice painting.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm able to do that for them. I'm honored to be able to do that for them and immortalize that person that they've lost.
Yeah, and that's something beautiful. Just looking at the picture, you can see it in your living room, a beautiful painting, portrait. I'm sorry,
And it's a big investment, though. You know, people are like, oh, it's just a painting, whatever. But it's like, yo, this is an investment in the loved one that you have, and that's priceless, you know. And you're going to see this painting, you take care of it, it's going to be here for the next 20, 30 years. You know, so it's worth paying what you're going to get. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay. And and usually how long it takes you to do, so the city already hired you, right? How much time they give you? You had 1 month, a week, or?
It depends on the project. It depends on the size. It depends on the design. It depends on the budget. It depends on a lot of things, you know. And usually, like the school that I've gone to, like not like school, but like the street schools that I grew up in, it's like, yo, let's make it happen, man. Like, you know, if it's a big project, let's get 4 or 5 people together that they know what they're doing. Everybody take a role, and you know, let's knock it down. You know, and then after that day, we'll come up with a budget that's feasible for everyone and it's comfortable. You know, and there's sometimes smaller projects that the city does, you know, and it's like a 1-day project, 2-day project, 3-day project, you know, so it's just what they're asking for and what the demand is at the moment.
Okay. And also, I live in Koreatown. I live between Beverly and Alexandria, and there's a school around there. I forgot the name of the school, but when I was looking at your website, I'm like, oh my god, I see this painting all the time. You did, I forgot the name of it's an elementary school in that.
I think it's called Alexandria Elementary School.
There you go.
I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that. That was a fun project.
Because I started taking walks actually back in 2 years ago when we were at home.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a walk, and that looks so beautiful over there in the corner. Because you're walking, I'm like, let me take a look.
Yeah.
Grabs your attention.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you were able to see that, you know, and I've left my mark throughout many schools in Los Angeles. I had this contract with a nonprofit that I'm not going to mention no more because they went out of business and they ended up owing me money. So I'm not going to mention the name. But I guess they went bankrupt. But I got contracted by them. Even though I'm not like, I had a good run with them. And, you know, they taught me so much as well. So I had a contract to do about 8 schools in LA.
Wow.
And each school was consisting of 8 sessions. 4 sessions was me talking with the kids that wanted to be part of the mural, me kind of explaining the process, right? Like the whole beginning to end, the materials, how to grid it, how to put an image up there, how to, scale it out from small to big, you know. So I kind of gave them that knowledge, and then the next 4 sessions were actually going up there and painting it. So I did 8 schools, and it was beautiful. It was really amazing because I was able to connect with kids from elementary, from middle school, from high school, you know, and I was able to kind of teach them, and I had a great time with the kids, man. Wherever you guys are, man, I miss y'all, you know. So I had a good time with the kids and everybody in there.
Oh, that's beautiful. I also read like back in 2019 you had a project for the exposition park, and it was painting I'm sorry for the pronunciation, people, I'm so sorry, I'm really bad. Nipsey Hussle?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I pronounce it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I read that you only had 4 hours.
Yes.
How did that happen, and how did you make it happen?
Well, hey, you gotta create miracles, man. You know, when people demand something, you gotta go ahead and show up and execute it, you know, well. But this part, it's all about preparation. It's like, yo, how am I gonna be able to do this within 4 hours? Like, what's the steps that I'm gonna take, you know?
But I like a student, but they call you that day, or?
Yeah, they hired me. They hired me through a nonprofit, and they told me, okay, like in this day, we're gonna be doing a festival. I think it was July. I think it was 4th of July, and like we need a big painting to do some live art for 4 hours. Like, can you make it happen? I said, yeah. I ended up having some of my buddies, the Great One-Eighters. Shout out to them. They let me borrow this big panel. that you were able to open some of the like one of the carpenters put some legs behind it, so it was able to stand on its own. And then I just went in there. I just put my headphones on and I started painting away.
You let yourself go.
Yeah, I just let myself go, man. I was the painting, you know. So
wow, congratulations. Oh my God. See, yeah, and when you know your value and when you know your skills and what you are capable to do, you can take that risk.
Yeah.
Do you think that I think JP from 10 years ago will say yes.
Yeah. You know, it's always a struggle. It was always a struggle because like sometimes you don't believe in yourself as much as the other people see you. Because people from the outside is like, no, he can make it happen. But then you're like, damn, like I gotta prepare for, I gotta do this. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yo, can I do it? But it's just like, yeah, I could do it. Like it's believing in yourself. Like sometimes it's hard to believe in yourself. You know, because there's a lot of doubts and you're your own biggest critic and you're your own biggest enemy. So sometimes we tend to talk bad about ourselves and, you know, always put ourselves down, you know, your self-esteem down. But it's like, how about all those times that we made it through a lot of things that we thought we couldn't make it through? Like, we got to give ourselves props and we got to talk good to ourselves. You know, when you're in the room by yourself, like, tell yourself good things, you know, like uplift your own spirit, you know, because we've overcame a lot of things. So why not being able to congratulate yourself?
Okay, I love everything you said, but I had more questions about
No, let me know. Ask away.
Did you were stressed or how did you prepare for that day? Like, okay, you grab your headphones and you are like, I'm in my world and I'm gonna make this happen, and you made it happen. Congratulations. But in the morning, how did you start your day? Do you remember?
I started my day by trying to mix all my colors already, because, you know, mixing colors, it's a process of its own. Okay. It's an art of its own, to say the least, because there's a lot of things that go on in trying to make the right colors, trying to make the right shades, the right tones, the right hues. And I try to start, you know, positively. Yeah. Speaking good to myself, like affirmations. It's like, yo, I'm going to be able to do this. We're going to rock it. Let's go. You know, because then if you start going in there with doubt, then, you know, things start happening and you're like, oh my God, like your hands start getting sweaty. It's like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this, you know, and they're not going to pay me. So it's like, no, like try to make the best of it, you know, because artists will have fun, you know what I mean? And that's what I told myself, artists will have fun, but you also have that pressure to deliver, to make sure that it's successful, make sure that people interact with it, make sure people like it. So, man, people were there and they were hyping me up. They're like, yo, it's looking good, man. Like, keep going. Oh, it's looking nice. Like, oh, beautiful work, you know, beautiful portrait. So that kind of kept me going, you know. So I was like, yeah, like this is, it's going good, you know. So when the public says that it's going good, then it's like, yo, yes, it's going great.
Wow, it's beautiful to listen that you also, I see you super self-confident, but also knowing that you also cope with the imposter syndrome. But I love how you change your mindset and you say positive things every day, and oh my God, yeah, okay, and I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been hard though, because, you know, when you're getting up there, it's like you always question yourself, you know. And after doing, you know, like 50 murals, 60 murals, and you deliver a successful project, then you start getting that confidence in yourself. It's like, yo, like, yeah, I can do this, you know, like I'm able to go ahead and make something happen. That's why people hit you up, because you're reliable. Because they know that you're going to go ahead and make it happen one way or another.
Wow. And before you start painting, in general, or that day, did you get nervous or excited? What are your feelings before you put your headphones on?
I'm always nervous. No lie. Like, I'm always nervous. Like, it's like, yo, is this the day where I mess up? Like, is this where, like, I'm not going to make it happen? Like, I'm always nervous. And it's always like those butterflies in your stomach, and it's like, damn, like, I gotta make this one happen, you know. And people told me, it's like, when you're not nervous no more, it's like you lost track of what's important to you. So it's like, use that and turn that energy into more of a positive one, and you know, just focus on that and deliver it through there, you know. So yeah, I'm always nervous. I'm always thinking like, damn, every mirror I do, it's always like, is this gonna be the one that, like, I'm gonna mess up on,
or they're gonna find out I'm not good for this or something?
Yeah, of course. And you question yourself. It's like, damn, am I in the right spot? Like, should I still keep painting? Like, damn, then that's where you gotta sit back and look at everything you've already accomplished and be like, yo, regain that confidence in yourself. Because, like I said, you overcame a lot of things. So this is just another obstacle that you're gonna jump over.
Yeah. And that's true. When we start feeling the butterflies in our stomach, usually mine are because I'm hungry, but yeah, for some projects, it feels like, I love that, to use it as the excitement of the project or whatever we're doing, instead of feeling like, oh my God, I'm not good for this and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I got you. I understand. And also, I want to know, the audience wants to know, how did you cope with rejection? Because have you been rejected from any projects or?
Yeah, of course. Sometimes I've been rejected from a few projects, and I just tell myself, like, man, there's always an opportunity for the next one. Maybe I'm not fit for this one, and that makes me go even harder. It's like, yo, I'm gonna show them that they messed up, and I was fit for this one. But just how hungry I am, and like how much ambition I have. Like, there's other artists that have the same ambition, and I cannot blame them. Like, I've always salute them. If they got the job and I did it, I tell them, man, you deserve it. Because you were in the right spot, you were more prepared, and you have more experience. You know what I mean? So, hey, nothing but love, and I want to learn from you. So I've always been a student. And I've always been like, yo, congrats. If you need any help to clean your brushes, to bring you food, anything, help you paint, let me know, because I'll be there.
You have a big community, right?
Yeah.
You between artists, and you guys support each other, so that's amazing.
Of
that's
course.
Something you guys have built because of your personality, the way you treat people.
Yeah. We have a circle of painters that everybody kind of knows each other, and it's like second family. And we're able to bounce ideas off of each other. And if you're stuck in one project and you need help, you can count on me. I'll be there for you, bro. Just when I'm stuck in one project, come through. Come help me out, and we'll figure the rest out. So that's always amazing, and I love having my brothers having my back, and I have their back as well.
And JP, I would like to know, because we're humans and we have our sad days and our great days. I call it the great days. But what do you do when you feel down?
When I feel down, I look for the people that I can count on. I look for the people that know my worth, know my value, and try to rely, or try to, like, not rely on them, but being able to tell me, like, yo, like, how am I doing? Like, hold me accountable for anything that, like, I do or say. That's what a friend would do. Like, tell you, hey, nah, like, you're messing up, bro. Or like, hey, man, great job. But, I used to try to bottle it up all inside, but now, I try to speak it out. I try to look for my mom, tell her how I'm feeling. Or if not, like, look for some buddies, tell them, hey, like, this is what I'm going through. Can we go out for a ride? Or sometimes on those sad days, like, I just try to paint, try to, like, transfer my feelings of sadness into a painting, and, let this painting speak for itself. So that's how I try to cope with my sad days,
I love that. I love to hear that, because I love how you said in the past you used to, like, fight with those feelings, but you are breaking a stereotype. So that's amazing. Like, men can cry too, men can feel sad too.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong to share your feelings. And okay, I know you're a resilient person, so like, maybe in 2 days, maybe in 3 days, you're gonna feel the JP that is always feeling positive and optimistic, but right now you are like,
and it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to cry, it's okay to, like, let those feelings out. It doesn't make you less of a man. And like, we are taught in the traditional Mexican household that you can't cry, that you gotta be strong for everybody. And sometimes you, like, that's what kind of creates anger, and I've always told myself that everything is temporary. Your feelings are temporary, people are temporary, your lifestyle is temporary. So don't always think just because you're having a bad day it's gonna stay like that. You're always gonna overcome it. And just because you're having a good day, don't think that it's always gonna be like that. You can also have a bad day. So I've learned to cope with that, and I know that's how life goes. That's how life works. So I'm not even, when I'm sad, I'm not even sad. I'm just kind of going through that feeling, and embracing it and letting people know, yeah, this is okay. But I know I'm gonna get up from this one too. I'm gonna rise up, and I'm gonna be okay.
But also, as an artist, it's really good, no?
Yeah,
Because as you say, you put it on a painting, and there you go.
Exactly. You know, you let your feelings out. You let your feelings out, and you know, it's great to kind of see the different stages of painting that you've done. You know. So like when I broke my leg's broken, but I didn't want to paint for about like a month. You know, I didn't feel like that urge. I didn't feel like las ganas, you know, to want to go ahead and paint. So, you know, my dogs were always there for me. My little dogs. I have one named Cookie, and no one named BB.
I saw them on your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
they're so cute.
Yeah. So,
they were with you in bed.
Yeah. So I ended up painting them. You know, So because I was like, yo, these are the people that are always with me. They're the ones that see me cry. They're the ones that see me happy. They're the ones that see me struggling. They're the ones that, you know, see me in pain. So I was like, you guys are super loyal. And, you know, I painted them, and, you know, they're beyond dogs. They're my little sister because they're both girls. So I call them my little sisters right now.
Yeah, they're so cute. Oh my God. And back when you had the accident that month, okay, so you didn't want to like to paint for 1 month. How do you also feel like?
Man, I was counting the minutes because I as soon as I woke up, I wanted that day to be over with already because I didn't want to deal with the pain. I was like super like depressed, not like super depressed, but I was just sad, you know. And I was just like, I gotta go ahead and get up. And there's this like the word deep depressed is broken down into is like deep rest. So right now I'm in that position of like being able to just have a deep rest and be able to, you know, get up from this one because it was hard. It was hard, and you know, big shout out to everybody that was there for me. You know.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And oh my God, thank you for sharing this. And also, tell us about your YouTube channel because I was.
Yeah, man. We started a YouTube channel, me and my buddy Adolfo. Big shout out to Adolfo. You know, he's been like having my back forever, you know. So I love this guy. You know, I'm in debt with him, and you know, I'm like, we're gonna rise up together, you know what I mean? So whenever I go good, he's gonna go good with me, you know what I mean? So we started a YouTube channel called JP Murals TV just to kind of showcase what I do, you know, my day-to-day, what I go through. You know, there's a million YouTube channels out there, but if you care about my YouTube channel, you know, go ahead and subscribe. JP Murals TV. And you know, we just like showing love basically, because I want to go ahead and be able to give back to my art. You know, whenever I get money, I want to be able to give it to somebody else, or you know, be able to help other people out, you know, and just help like make the quality of living of my people better, you know. So that's what we're doing. And you know, if everybody want to subscribe, go ahead, you know.
It's amazing. And I think that's really cool because your Instagram is just your work and some reels, but you're not talking on them, but this is a good opportunity for people, to get to know you better.
Yeah, know me more in a deeper sense, you know. I'm not scared to show who I am, you know. All my downfalls, all the obstacles I face are why I'm still here, and you know, why I keep doing what I love, you know. So I want to showcase it to the world and be able to, like, you know, just share my thoughts, you know, and you know, just share who I am, you know, because like I'm authentic, I'm real, you know. And that's what people really like, and that's what people really kind of look up to. So yeah, and inspiration for more kids, for other younger people and people from our age. Well, your generation, my generation. Everybody's generation, you know?
Yeah. Okay, well, first, I just want to say thank you for being here with me, talking, and it's, well, you have an amazing story, and we're so thankful that you are sharing all of this with us. And I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions that I always ask to all my guests, and it's amazing to learn from you guys. Who inspires you?
Who inspires me? My mom and dad. You know, they that's basically where, like, that's my fundamental inspiration. You know, like that's where everything stems out from. Because my parents left their family in Mexico, just like, you know, everybody else's parents that come from different countries. You leave your parents, but like your parents leave everything behind. They leave their identity behind. They leave who they are. They leave their parents. They leave their brothers. They leave their families. They leave like everything that they work so hard for, you know, to come to a new country, starting from zero, having nothing, having to learn the language, having to look for a job, you know, taking any job, you know, to make ends meet, you know, and that's my fundamental inspiration, because I cannot fail my parents. I cannot like let them down. So I gotta go ahead and be able to do something good for myself and let them know that I can stand alone, and I can help others. Like I can help them and I can help others as well. So that's where my inspiration comes from. And secondly, where I live at, the San Fernando Gardens, because people really look at it as a bad place, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to change that stereotype as well, like being able to show people that good people do come from this place too, you know. Yeah. And even though we're surrounded by, you know, negativity, and we're overlooked and like often neglected by, you know, the city, there's not enough funding, there's not enough resources, but, you know, we do the best with what we have, you know. And that's my inspiration. All my friends, you know, all my buddies that I grew up with, you know, all my art friends, you know, just people creating that's where my inspiration comes from. An artist, any creator, any artist, any content creator, is like we are moving the culture forward, you know, and we are the fabric of like the space that, you know, we create the future, basically. You know, we take like a boring white wall and we give it value by adding colors to it, by adding something that's ours into a wall. And, you know, we give it value by, you know, just painting on it, you know. So, you know, even a napkin, a napkin costs nothing, but if I paint on it, I can sell it, I give it value, you know. So that's a lot of my inspiration, and, you know, I want to be able to keep it moving forward.
That's a beautiful thing to hear. And I'm curious, like, yeah, you're right. Like, your parents moved here. Do your parents met in Mexico? They got married in Mexico?
Yeah. They got married in Guanajuato.
Ah.
Yeah. Las momias, you know, so.
And they decide to go for a better future, but it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
I remember my dad came here first. You know, he came here first, and we already had my uncle here, so my uncle helped my dad come over here, and we stayed in Mexico. And I used to cry to my mom, you know, telling her where my dad is, like, you know.
Do you remember how old you were?
Yeah, I was like 3.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, where's my dad? Like, I miss my dad. He was to college, and I used to, you know, cry to him, like, why'd you leave us? You know, he's like, man, I'm saving some money to bring you guys over here. So, you know, after like about a year, we ended up coming over here, and you know, then our life started here. You know, they left their whole parents and their whole family behind. You know, one thing that actually kills me is the fact that, like, my mom couldn't see like her mom pass away, you know, because she couldn't go back. And, you know, my mom, she cried a lot. So yeah, that was tough for me to kind of like see that, and it's like, damn, like, that's the price you pay.
Yeah. Like, yeah, because you quit to everything. You are like, okay, those are, if it feels or people think it's closer, Guanajuato, you just take but not everybody has the opportunity to go back and forth. It's just, bye, we're leaving, we're starting a family. So we want a better future for our kids and for us. So we're moving to, they have friends or anybody, or just they heard like, hey, just go over there and start a new life and everything.
Yeah, well, I remember, my mom had friends all over right there, but it's like, you want a better life for your kids, you know, so you sacrifice everything and you leave everything behind, you know. And I kind of put myself in their shoes. It's like, damn, imagine, like, say, you know, like, I'm here and I have kids, and then I move to a different country. Say I move like without knowing nothing, you know. It's like you leave everything behind, and the price you pay is like, damn. My mom told me, like, damn, like, was it worth it leaving my mom up there, like, for this? And I'm like, yeah, mom, like, I'm gonna make it better for you, you know, and I'm gonna make every sacrifice you made worth you leaving that, you know, leaving everything for me and for my siblings.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, it's not easy, but I put myself on her shoes and in their shoes, both your parents.
Yeah.
I'm curious about your collar necklace. It was a gift, or you bought it after your first painting?
No, this I said, okay, well, I wanted to change, no lie, and it's like, what a better artifact to have than to have something that represents me, like represents my passion, and I got like a palette, with like little like little beads that have like colors, and it's like that's like the color.
I see red, yellow, orange, green, blue.
Yeah, green and blue. That's like
I don't need glasses
and yeah.
And what is it?
JP Meals Forever, and it has like the forever sign. Yeah, but
that's beautiful.
Yeah, I there was a custom jeweler on my Instagram that follows me, and then I told him, hey, could you make me this piece right here? He's like, yeah. And I remember I had one the same, but I lost it. And I was like, yo, I was super bummed out. And I ended up saving some money to do it again. So I told him, hey, can you do me another one? So he's like, yeah, for sure. So I ended up like, getting this one. I honestly get a lot of compliments for it, when I'm in the street, because it's like, yo, this is what I love to do. And it's like, I'm a word on my neck.
And it's unique because if I don't know you, but I see you on the street or whatever, I'm like, I think he does art.
Yeah, he paints. Yeah, of course.
And it's a good way for people to talk about they're gonna ask you about that, and they're gonna open about your work. Yeah. Like if you're in a networking event, I don't know, and people are not gonna ask you, how you doing today? They're gonna, oh wait, your next.
It's a good conversation piece.
Yeah. I like it. If you're listening in Spotify or Apple Podcast, come to YouTube and see his necklace.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Doubt. It's pretty cool. You guys gonna love it.
And what is the worst advice that you had been given?
Damn, the worst advice. Damn, that's a good one, because I usually get asked what's the best advice, but
I want to know the worst
advice.
We want to know the worst.
That's a good one. The worst advice. Damn, that's a good one. The worst advice I've gotten, maybe not the worst advice, but the worst actions that I've seen, because, you see sometimes like we get these, like we have like this thought of like always seeing the best in people, it's like, nah, like even though he does this, I know he's a good person deep down inside, but sometimes the circumstances that you're in, like having to, meet the rent the next month, you only have like 3-4 days, like it drives you to do things that it's like, damn, like I wonder how you feel, bro, and especially where I live at, it's just like, people want to get easy money, and sometimes you see some actions that are like questionable, and you're like, damn, I'd rather not be hanging with this person, or it's just like, yeah, I think that's the word. I have to really think about that question, because I'm like, damn, because I try to filter all the bad things out, and when I meet a person and I like how they act, or I like their character traits, of course they're human, right? So they also have flaws, but I don't copy the flaws, I copy what they have that I like, so I try to pick and choose what's beneficial to me, and I try to apply it in my own life. Okay. But all the bad shit that like people talk about, or all the bad things that they try to tell me, I try to filter them out, because your head is what you feed. You feed your brain everything that you hear. So I try to like filter things out and just try to put myself within a good space of mind.
Okay. Well, maybe later you will answer that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to that question. So I owe you that answer.
No, don't worry. But I can give you an example.
Yeah.
For example, when I was younger and super immature, I'm still immature, of course, but I was more immature. And I used to tell people, if my friends, if they were having a problem, I will say, oh, everything will be okay. I was like, now I'm 34 and I'm like, I don't say that. I say, if you want to cry, if you want to scream, or whatever you want to do, I'm here for you. If you, whatever. But everything will be okay. But I don't say it anymore. Like with the time, everything will be okay. But in the moment when someone is sad or anger, I don't say that anymore. So Yeah. So if someone asks some of my friends, what is the worst advice someone gave you? Oh yeah, Jacque told me this.
Yeah, everything's gonna be okay.
Just a dumb.
Yeah, it doesn't do nothing, you know?
No.
Yeah. No, you know what was one thing too that people used to tell me, and it's like when I broke my leg, it's like, oh, I hope you heal fast. And then it's like everybody used to tell me, it's like, yo, this shit takes time. Like, it's gonna take like 5 months. So I was just over like people telling me like, oh yeah, like you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be fine, like, and it's like, yeah, it's easy to say, but you know, like you're not going through the pain that I'm feeling, you know, like.
And here too, because it was not on. It is not only on your
physical,
leg.
it's a mental. It's also a mental pain, you know, and I'm not the only one suffering. I know my parents suffer too, and it's like, damn, like kind of seeing their kid, you know, in bed and not being able to move, not being able to do like what he loves to do, like out in the streets, you know, so. You know, everybody suffers when someone's down.
Yeah, so. Yeah. We. It's not like when we say in that case, like, oh, I hope you heal faster. Yes, they don't know, but also it's because we're not used to see people that we love in pain. So it's our ways to embrace I love you or something, but we don't know how to say it.
Yeah, exactly. No, that definitely makes sense.
Okay, and what is the best advice that someone has given to you?
The best advice always comes from my dad, you know. It's like his words are always stuck to me, you know, and he just said, if you wanna be a badass, you know, with a degree, be a badass in school, be a badass, you know, doing good things, you know, because anybody could be bad with a gun, you know, anybody could be a badass with a gun, but it takes courage for you to actually commit to something, you know, and finish school, because that's a big commitment, you know, not everybody could do it, you know, so you went to school, it's like, it shows a lot about your character. It's like you were able to start something and finish it, you know, so my dad always told me, like, you know, be a badass in something that's going to be positive and that people are going to remember you for. So that's what I just try to do, you know, like try to go ahead and be a badass in my art, you know, and you know, just try to give back to the people that I love.
I like that. Yeah, and you're doing your That's an amazing advice. And what book, movie, or song or mural, because you're an artist, will recommend? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I ran away. Yeah, what book, movie, or any song or mural have changed your life? Like, that you will say, you know what, guys, you have to watch this because this changed my life.
The book that changed my life for the better and that I knew had an impact on me was also when I broke my leg. I looked for self-help books and self-help videos and anything that can help me get right, you know, mentally, you know. So I got this book by David Goggins, and it's called You Can't Stop Me, you know. And that video, his story also impacted me because it showed that mental toughness that he had, you know, and he had to build, you know. And he was a Marine, you know, and there was a lot of stereotypes towards him, you know, but he was always like he didn't make it in a few trainings, but people knew him for coming back stronger, for coming back even better, for coming back like yo, like I'm not gonna let this stop me, you know. So he works out a lot, and he, you know, talks about how, you know, working out is not just physically, like you also build that mental toughness, because it's like, yo, I ran like 5 laps, can I do one more? And then you start training your mind to be like, yeah, you could do another one and another one and another one. So, you know, he helped me down. He helped me a lot in my when I was feeling down, you know. So, man, you know, it's a lifesaver, you know. People say that he saved more lives than Jesus himself, you know. So, yeah, that's a good one that I recommend to everybody listening.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look.
And the mural, the mural,
please.
I did at Rosemont Elementary School. I did a mural of an abuelita, you know, and that mural has gained a life of its own because I get tagged on it on Instagram a bunch of times, and you know, it's become part of the community, you know. So it's an abuelita that's you know, just kind of like holding flowers, and she has like a halo on top of her head, and it's of like different fruits and like different like food, you know, just kind of embracing to eat good and you know live a longevity life, you know. So
how did you get the idea?
They wanted something traditional They wanted something that represents eating good, eating healthy, and if you eat healthy, you're gonna eventually make it to an old age. If you eat good. So I got that idea, and the wall was narrow. So it wasn't like super long, but it was tall. So I was like, that'd be cool if I paint like a portrait, kind of standing up. And that mural it's a beautiful mural.
Is it in red?
It has some red in it. It's like un rebozo, que tiene como un rebozo, and it's red. But
sí.
Yeah, it's a beautiful mural, and everybody has their own abuelita, and everybody loves them. It's like we always look for her for comfort. So
yeah.
I feel like the community looks for that mural for comfortability.
Yeah. Wow,
yeah.
That's a beautiful message, because that's true. And abuelitas they have a really good advice.
Yeah,
and everything.
Of course. It's like they lived a long time, so they've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah, mine was very strong. Yeah. And what projects are you working on right now? I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Besides the YouTube channel.
I just have like small little canvases that I do for some of my buddies that want their name or want their girlfriend's name or just stuff like that. So I've just been trying to focus on that, because that pays me, and still like I'm able to still kind of keep on paying my bills. And I have a few projects lined up for a couple of my clients that are down to wait for me to get better, which is a big blessing.
Wow.
So
yeah.
I have like 3 projects lined up for that. And just like more personal projects, for myself, that I want to go ahead and do as soon as I'm able to step on my 2 feet. So, there's projects in the works, so I'm just waiting patiently, and, just meanwhile, just focusing my time on, designs or, just canvas work, things that I could do like sitting down comfortably.
And I forgot to ask, the night that you say the day, what is a day in your life? Like, what is something that you always do as an artist? What is something that you always do that it has to be in your everyday? Like, for me, it could be drinking coffee. Yeah. An example.
Yeah, of course, man. To me, I wake up and check my social media. I think everyone does that. And it's a habit that we've picked up. Everyone does it. So I try to sometimes like filter myself out from like always being on social media, and it's like I don't want to always be the consumer. I want to be the creator.
Yeah.
So I wake up, check my social media, then I try to go ahead and start painting little by little, then try to feed my dogs, get up, try to clean a little bit, even though I can't do much, but do that, and just basically try to like distract my mind, and being able to like paint and just do that at the end of the day, because I can't really do much, so
yeah.
At the beginning. But then after in the night, my parents take me out on the wheelchair, and then I take a few laps around just to kind of get some fresh air.
Yeah.
And
that's healthy.
Try to go ahead and look at some movies, try to be like, just try to keep distracted, so at the moment that's what I'm doing. But when I was on my 2 steps, like I used to wake up and just start grinding, just start like painting, since the morning. Before I broke my leg, I was working like 2 jobs in between. I was working 2 murals in between. So I wake up like at 8 in the morning. I go to one job, get out at 3, 4. Then I go to the next one from like 6 to like 10 or 11, and it was a lot. But, I used to be in my car and I'd be like, damn, like today was a productive day. I painted a bunch, and, I feel proud, I feel happy, because I'm doing what I love. And, I used to ask for this when I was a kid. I was like, damn, I want to live off of me painting. And it happened.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. That's a beautiful story, because that's true. Not everybody, not all the people are resilient. Like, yeah, we all have dreams when we are kids. Oh, I want to do this for a living. But life is not linear. I see life as a hiking, right? Yeah, you plan, but life is like, honey, no, it's not like that.
Sit down.
It's a surprise. So yeah, like, not because you have some obstacles, it means like that didn't stop you. That make you stronger.
Yeah.
And I know some people, they are like, no, I don't want to keep doing this. This is not gonna work for me, and blah blah blah. But that's a beautiful story, and I'm so happy that you are here and sharing with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
And also, you say something really nice on your YouTube channel, a video with your parents. You said, enjoy more the time with your family. Leave your talking about social media and the cell phone. Leave your cell phone on the side. Be more present with your family. I was like, whoa, that's a nice advice.
Yeah, because usually when I was younger, I always want to be out with my friends, you know, and you don't really get to spend time with your family, you know, because you always want to be outside with your friends. You always want to like go to a party. You always want to like,
What's next?
Be hanging out. And it's like, you know, I see my parents getting older, and it's like, man, the older they get, the more I want to spend time with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they couldn't do it with their parents. So, like, I'm gonna do that with my parents, and you know, I have a great time with them. You know, we sit down, we laugh, we watch movies. You know, we go out. You know, so I'm super grateful to still have my parents. You know, because I know some of my friends don't. They only have a mom or they only have a dad. You know, and it's like me, I got both, and I gotta cherish them and I gotta love them. You know, take them out. You know, like spoil them. You know, they were only able to do certain things for me when I was a kid. You know, when I was a kid, it's like now we help my parents out. You know, like me and my sister help my parents out. So it's, I guess it's a bit more chill for my dad, because my dad's the only one that works. You know, but when we're younger, he had to provide for everyone. You know, for me, for my sister, for my little brother, for my mom, everybody. So. You know, and then like we wanted the best shoes, we wanted the best gear, we wanted the best, and it's like, yo, my dad can only give you so much, you know what I mean? He can only give you this. So I used to get mad, like, no, I don't want those.
No, and as a kid, you don't understand what's going on, because your parents are not gonna talk to you like, I make this every month, we have to pay rent. I was like,
we are poor, like, yo, you better chill, you know, like. And we wanted the best thing, because if not, people at school used to tease you, and it was that bullying, and it's like. We demanded certain things from my dad, but it's like, yo, my dad can only give us so much, like, so it's like, my dad spoiled us in his own way, in the way that he could, you know. So now that we're able to make our own money and help him out, like, I try to spoil my dad every time that I get. So I tell him, Dad, get whatever you want, get some shoes, get some hats, some jerseys, you know, and then I want to be the one that's going to do that and return the favor to you.
And at the beginning, it wasn't hard for them to because I mean, an example, my mom is like, on her birthday, we're taking her out, and she's looking at the price of the food. I'm like, Mommy, you're not gonna pay. Like, you know that. Like, it's your birthday. You are not paying. Like, even though if we go to eat tacos or something, we're not gonna let you pay, because you know, we of course we want to spoil it. I get it. But at the beginning, it wasn't hard for them to say yes to your gift, or to like, Dad, what shoes do you want? And he will be like, no.
Yeah, at first, but then they just started getting used to it. Like, no, I want those right there. But in the beginning, they were like, no, you know, just save your money for the rainy days, you know, because the hard times are coming too, you know. So just make sure you have your money. And then once, like, they knew, like, okay, well, you know, he gets his own money, he pays his own bills. Like, it's like, okay. What do you want to do? You know, let's go somewhere. Let's go eat to a nice restaurant. You know, like stuff like that. And at first, they were always like hesitant, because like we're like, no, we don't belong there. It's like, no, that's like too much. And it's like, Mom, our money's the same. Yeah, you know? Our money's still green. Yeah, our money's still green. And it's like, and then after, like, they're like, no, let's go. Like, they just got used to it. Like,
remember today?
Yeah, and they're like, no, I want those expensive shoes. I was like, all right, well, just, you know. But I think that's a beautiful part, that we can do that for our parents, you know. And they did it, you know, they did as much when I was younger. So I gotta go ahead and return it back, and, you know, just make sure that my parents feel the love, and, you know, because I don't want to regret nothing when they pass away, and, you know, being able to just say, damn, like, I did everything I could with them. I had a great time. I spent time with them. You know, we went out, we had fun, you know, so.
Wow, that's beautiful. And if looking back to the years, what will you say to the young JP?
Keep on going, man. Like, no matter how hard things get, like, keep on going, because there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, like, you have to go through a lot of adversities in your life, you know, to be able to reach your goals. But also, like, feel happy, man. Feel happy that everything's happening for a reason. You know, your family's not gonna let you down. Love your family. you know, and you know, just keep on grinding, because everything you asked for when you were a kid, you're gonna receive it when you're older, you know. And also, like, talk nice to yourself, like give yourself good talks, and you know, be able to do the things that the older JP is gonna be like, damn, thank you for doing that, like you helped me out so much.
That's beautiful. And what legacy would you like to leave in this world?
I want to be remembered by, you know, how I make people feel. Like I wanna go ahead and show them that, you know, beyond my paintings, you know, of course I want my paintings to, you know, still be here and before I pass away, and hopefully they're worth a lot of money, you know. So whoever, you know, got painted is like, yo, like keep it, you know, give it to your grandchildren, because later on it's gonna be like Picasso, you know. So but beyond that, you know, just a person that valued family, you know, a person that, cause I'm family oriented, you know, like every time we have a birthday party, like we don't really invite no one, because it's just like my family and ourselves, you know. So it's just like we say a whole prayer and everybody says what they're grateful for, you know, and then what can we do to make the family stronger. My dad always like put that in our head. My dad used to cry and tell us like, man, we gotta keep this family close, because you know that's the only thing we have. And I was like, damn, like that's what we try to strive for. So, you know, when there's conflict between the family, it's like, yeah, like how we're gonna resolve it, you know?
Yeah. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, JP. Thank you for being here, and thank you to everybody that is watching us or listening us. Have a beautiful morning, afternoon, or night.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for everybody that tuned in, and keep watching.
How do you feel?
I feel great, you know. I feel great. I wanted to cry a few times, but you know, like,
Hey, there's a free space here.
Yeah,
You can
so,
cry.
yeah, but I hold back the tears.
Gracias,